Hey guys, Steve and Tony back here again, and this is part two of my recommendations to my shoutouts to my buddies Donnie, Carlos, Jeff, Ramon, and John. And the first pick I am going to show off here is for Donnie. This is the UK Blu ray of Fritz Lang's final film, The Thousand Eyes of Dr. Mabusa, which is the third and final film in his Mabusa trilogy. This is set in the contemporary age, so it's early 1960. The world's in the midst of the Cold War, and of course, the nefarious evil genius decides he is going to make a killing in this time of paranoia and uncertainty, and just goes on an equally crazy criminal spree. Uh, Definitely not as good as the Testament of Dr. Mabusa from 33, but this is still quite good. I really did enjoy it a lot. It was the perfect swan song for Lang, to his career as a writer and director, and he just went out with the solid bang he should have. It's great in black and white, really good cinematography there. Certainly not as flashy as Lang's silent films. Oregon, the second Mabusa feature, which was in sound, but it is still quite good. It is still enjoyable, and it has a really good international cast. Here on the cover you have the German actors Peter von Eck, and Wolfgang. Oh, I'm sorry, and Wolfgang Preis, who plays the title character, I believe, and the lovely British actress Dawn Adams here. It also has the other great German actor Gert Frobe, and it also has a few other people in it, but they're the main ones who stand out to me anyway. Again, just really interesting, really entertaining, and is a really cool homage to Lang and his career. So that is my pick for Donnie. Okay, and the next one is for John here. Now, this release comes out of this box set here, which I'll grab in a second. It comes from the Severin US release, the Lindsay Carol Baker set, which is a really cool set. It has all four of the films they made together. And the pick for John here is the first film they made together. I don't want to actually say the title because I have a problem with saying like O's and P's and M's and certain other letters at times. But this was the first film Lindsay and Baker made together, and it was actually based off of a short story that Lindsay read when he was a younger man. I forget the title of it now, but he mentioned it either in the interview he did on this set here, or he mentioned it in this documentary on his life that is on the Grindhouse releasing Blu-ray of The Tough Ones. But it's basically about this widow whose husband's just died, obviously, and she ends up going to this villa in Italy to relax, and is all of a sudden besieged by this hippie-like couple. Here's the man in the group, Lou Castel. He plays the man of the couple. And basically, it's just this psychological breakdown of her character, of Baker's character, of the Baker character. I mean, yeah. And it's just all this crazy stuff happens to her in it, and the ending in this is a real solid, a real well done twist. I thought Lindsay ended this thing perfectly. There's actually two cuts to this: the uncut Italian version and the trimmed down U.S. cut. The U.S. cut, which is in dubbed in English only, do not watch that version. Watch the uncut Italian version. That is just, that ending blew me away. I could not believe the twist. I was like, what? I mean, like, Lindsay and his co-authors just did a really great job on it. All of the cast in this, especially Baker's good. It's taut, it's sexy, it's intriguing. It is just a really, really fine mystery suspense thriller. And unfortunately, John, the only way to get this is in the box set here. But, if you can find another version of it, or if maybe 88 Films puts it out, definitely check it out. Like, it is really worth seeing. So yeah, I mean, I do apologize. It's a region A only release, and it is so far only available in that set. So, but hopefully I have intrigued you enough. Definitely check it out. It is totally worth the viewing pleasure. And speaking of the Lindsay Baker films, for Jeff and Ramon, I highly, highly recommend that film to them, as well as the other three films, So Sweet, So Perverse, A Quiet Place to Kill, aka Paranoia, and of course, Knife of Ice. Now, these three here do have UK releases, and I actually have two of them. Let's see, I have, oh yes, So Sweet, So Perverse, and A Quiet Place to Kill, aka Paranoia. These are region free, I believe. Both the UK editions and the US cuts, but all three of these sequels here in Lindsay and Baker's time together are really, really good. And Knife of Ice has a really interesting twist ending to it too. Really good. Probably one of Carol Baker's finest in her Italian time. So Sweet, So Perverse, I think, is the weakest of their four-film collaboration. But, I mean, it's still good. Jean-Louis Trintignant is always good as an actor. It has a good premise and a fairly interesting execution. but it does fall flat in some places. It's not bad at all, but it just lacks something that made the other three so good. Paranoia, especially, is really good. This is a sort of different character for Baker in this one, and she actually gets a really interesting part. She's a race car driver in it, and she ends up having some sort of mental breakdown while training, and she goes off to see her ex-husband, played by Jean Zarel, and he convinces her to conspire with him to off his current wife. And things just get crazy when the daughter of the wife comes in to play at some period in the film, and all hell is just let loose. And trust me, like, it is really good. Again, certainly hasn't got that same twist as Knife of Ice or So Sweet or the first film, but it is still solidly made. And Baker and Sorrell just had this really cool chemistry going for them. So, those are my other choices there. And last but certainly not least, my last two picks here are for Carlos. And these are both Italian westerns, and they're westerns with Anthony Stephan. Now, this first one is $7 on the red. This is a really early one. I think this is in 65, before the genre really had its roots. So it kind of has an American and an Italian vibe at the same time, but I really, really enjoyed this. It's actually, in my opinion, one of Alberto Cordone's better efforts into the genre. I did see $1,000 on the black, which is good too, but that just had a bit too much melodrama in it. And while I don't have any problems with that, it kind of got overkill a bit. This one here balances out the action and the drama just right. And Sonny Stephan plays this guy whose house is robbed, his wife is murdered, and his young son is taken captive by the bandit leader, played by the always good Fernando Sancho. And it's just basically him trailing Sancho for something like 15 years, and then having to find out that his son has been corrupted by this guy. Again, it's just really good. This is the out-of-print Koch Media DVD. I actually got this brand new and sealed off of eBay. Unfortunately, Carlos, it is not English language friendly, but it does have English subtitles for the Italian track. So, but it is definitely worth a watch. It is really good. It's a very interesting role for Stefan, and of course Sancho is at his bad guy best as always in this one. Just a really good, really underrated one in my humble opinion. So that's the first one for Carlos. And last, but certainly not least, is another German DVD. Das is A Coffin for the Sheriff. This one is English friendly. And it's basically Stefan as a undercover lawman who is infiltrating a gang led by El Lope, played by the actor Armando Calvo. And he is trailing him partly because of the gang's activities and partly because he suspects that this guy here, played by Eduardo Fajardo, in the first Western that he and Stefan made together, they'd make a total of, I believe, 5 or 6 films. 3 good ones and 3 fair ones, I believe. And again, he thinks Fajardo has knowledge, or that he at least has some idea of what happened to his wife. Again, really good. It's a middle of the road Western, but it's very well crafted, very well executed. It's not boring at all. It's got really good action, really good characters, and also one of the rare occasions where Eduardo Fajardo actually got to play a sort of typical cowboy bad guy, all dressed in black, actually, funny enough, and sporting blonde hair and a blonde beard. Which of course is not how he looks on the cover, but still. Really good. I had fun with this like last year. I haven't seen it in some time, but I remember really liking it. Really thinking that Stefan had upped his game playing the sheriff part, and the only odd thing to me is that in the Italian version, well, which is how I actually saw it, the Italian version, his character is called Texas Joe Logan, and in the English dub, he's apparently referred to as Shenandoah, which I thought didn't make any sense at all, because they really weren't anywhere near the southern border, I think, at least from what I recall. And the name Shenandoah just didn't work for Stefan's character. His name in Joe Logan in the Italian cut is so much more authentic, to the story being told here, but again, that's just me. I do tend to prefer my spaghetti westerns in the original language, which is often Italian. So, I mean, and I understand enough of it to be able to, get by at least. So, but again, it's me. It's me. But other than my preferences, that is really solid, really fun. Carlos, I'm not sure if you have either of these, but if you don't, please do get them. They're both worth your time and very good. And that is it. Thanks to everyone who watched. I tried being as brief as I could. So, and I hope y'all guys like what I picked for y'all. Hope you choose to check them out. And Ramon and Jeff, if you like any of that stuff I showed off, please do not hesitate to check it out yourselves. Like they were really for everybody's choice, but I just picked which films I thought fit best to the folks I was shouting out. So thanks for watching again, and see y'all soon.